Pilates Fitness, and today we're going to start out with a little bit of stretching and do some floor work. So go ahead and grab your mat. We're going to start out on our backs, lowering down gently to our mat, finding our neutral spine. We're going to do some pelvic tilting. So hands go into a diamond shape from your hips and down low into your pubis. You're going to rest your hands in this shape, and I want you to tip your pelvis so that you go down, tailbone goes down towards mat. You're moving as if you have a clock on your stomach and you're moving down towards 6 o'clock. Right now you should have a slight curvature in your spine, natural curvature, so you're not hyperextending, chest is not lifted. Now what I want you to do is I want you to tip your pelvis so that your pelvis is go towards your thumbs. Imagining that's on a clock, that's 12 o'clock. You've now flattened your back, you've gone into that imprinted spine. Let's go back again. Tipping into 6 o'clock, pressing your feet into the mat, rocking tailbone slightly up into 12 o'clock. Again, your back is flat in that imprinted spine. We have no glute work here. Nothing's happening at the buns. Tipping pelvis slightly towards 12 o'clock, creating neutral, and then rocking back towards 12 o'clock, imprinted. 2 more times, pressing through the feet. Rocking pelvis is a very slight move. Coming back to 12, imprint. 1 more time, upper body and chest, there's no lift and there's no pop, it's very slight, only through your pelvic bowl. We're going into 12 o'clock. We're going to stay here. Taking our legs up into a tabletop, one at a time. I lift up right leg, I lift up left leg, and from here I lift up both legs, I straighten out. I take my fingertips behind my thighs and I give just a slight little pull and release, connecting through my lower abs. I'm pulling slightly so hips lift and I lower back down. My goal here is to keep my legs as long and straight as possible, getting lots of stretch there all the way through the back of the legs, the calves, the hamstrings, all the way up into the glutes. Again, it's just a gentle pull, very light fingers on the back of your thighs. It's a slight rocking, going into breath. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, rolling back. Each time you exhale and you rock back, you can go a little bit further. If you feel that your range of motion is increasing with each pull, there should be no pain here. We have 3 more. And 2, keeping out of your shoulders, shoulders out of ears, keep them slid down. Chest is soft, again, it's just a slight pull with fingertips. Lowering down, bringing legs back to tabletop position. Lower left leg down. Right leg stays bent. I'm going to take my arms out to a T, and I'm going to drop both my knees over to the left side of my body, looking right. Take an inhale and exhale. Trying to surrender here, relaxing that left leg down. Getting into that right hip. Using my abdominals, I'm going to lift my knees back up to center, using both of my arms to press down, and I'm going to switch out my feet. Right foot is grounded, left leg tabletop. I drop knees to the right and look left. Again, using your breath to surrender down into the stretch. Tightening abdominals through that imprinted 12 o'clock spine. I'm going to draw both knees up, leaving arms out to the side. Arms go up. Legs go up. I'm going to take my arms up here and I'm going to reach, starting with the chin knot. I lift up my shoulders. I don't want to hyper tuck my chin. I'm just curving it in slightly so that the crown of my head is what's lifting as I warm up my abs, reaching towards feet. As I'm reaching, I'm lengthening through crown of the head. Firing up abdominals. 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to lower upper body down. Taking hands slightly behind my right calf, left leg goes long, thinking big scoop, lengthening through left toe. I'm going to take an inhale. Exhale, I lift, and then I switch long legs. Alternating sides, trying to stay lifted up. Again, getting lots of stretch through the back of that leg as you pull thigh to chest. Again, the pull is not great through the arms. It's just a little extra stretch at the top. I'm staying in that imprinted spine. Belly button stays pulled in tight. Little tuck of the chin. Make sure there's no strain on the neck. Now I'm going to go a little faster here. Try to avoid pelvic movement. Trying to stabilize through the pelvis while legs are moving long. Again, toes are pulling long. Leg out of that hip. 3 and 2 and 1. And we draw knees tabletop. And we lower down. Good job. Okay, left leg goes down onto the mat, either in a hook position while right leg goes long. If this is enough for you, enough of a stretch to the back of the leg, we're going to climb a tree. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our hands behind our thigh. We're going to take an inhale. On our exhale, we're going to slowly climb up our leg. You might not be able to get all the way up, and that's perfectly fine. All you're trying to do is connect through belly button to spine, nod the chin, climb up to your range of motion, and then with control, be able to lower back down one vertebrae at a time. Sometimes it helps if you have the flexibility to lengthen the other leg out nice and long. Gives you a little bit more range of motion and stability. So I'm going to lengthen left leg, try to keep it anchored into the mat, sit up, try to posture up if you're able to make it all the way to the top. Slowly articulating down. We're climbing the tree slope. So we climb up, we climb down. So again, I go from a curved spine, chin nod, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. I reach the top, I posture as tall as I can by pushing through chest, and then I go into my pelvic curl, and I lower down one vertebrae at a time. Last thing to come down is my head. 2 more. Chin nod, lift to the top, articulating down through curved spine. 1 more time. I chin nod, lift, posture up, chest is proud, and then I lower down with control. Good job. Taking leg through tabletop, pressing it down. Both legs go to hook. So left leg now goes to sky. Again, you can choose to leave your right leg in that hook position, or you can lengthen it out. Again, I like this flexibility. I like this lengthening move, so I'm going to straighten it out. I start with my chin nod. I slowly articulate up. First time you do it, the first 1 or 2, you're going to feel a little wonky. That's okay. You're just trying to get the move down. We roll up, posture up, roll down with control. Again, you're pressing that right leg, the back of the right leg into the mat. Try not to let it lift. And remember the articulation, remembering your breath. I inhale here, exhale to lift. When I get to the top, I take another inhale, and I exhale down. Inhale, proud. Exhale, nod to top, open chest. Inhale. And exhale, I'm getting a little bit of a leg shake because of the stretch. I love it. And I get to the top, shoulders stay down. And I come down. Good job. Go ahead and bend the leg first before you lower it down onto the mat. Good job. We're going to come over to our side. We're going to go into some sideline legs. I'm going to start out with my clam. I'm going to go up into my forearm. If that is too much, you're welcome to rest your head into your hands, or you can lengthen out long. I like being in this position. It's a little bit more of a challenge for me to remember to lift my hips. At my ribs. So if you're sinking down here, I've now gone into my shoulders, going into my ear, and my ribs are relaxed. My knees are no longer stacked. I've got the top leg is far shifted back. What I want to do, bring my knees together. They're stacked on top of each other, ensuring more of a stack on my hips. My elbows directly underneath my shoulder. I go from that move, I lift through the ribs. Go ahead and stay nice and lifted here. Hand can either be on hip, it can stay down on the mat, it can go behind head. I'm going to choose this option. I want to go ahead and work on keeping shoulder out of ear. I'm going to clam the legs open and close. So in this, as you're opening and closing the legs, you want to go total deep diving right now into those lower abdominals. So taking an inhale, exhale down with control, trying to find the lower abs as they connect. Feeling the pull as I lift through this outer hip glute and controlling through inner thigh as my knees come back together. Full body working here. I'm lifting through my ribs. I'm staying pushing through that elbow and forearm to keep shoulder out of ear. Crown of the head again is pulling nice and long and straight. Staying lifted. I have 2 more. Last one. I'm going to add on to it now. I'm going to open my leg in clam. I'm going to lengthen out long. I'm going to reconnect toes and lower down, going deeper into that glute. I open, I lengthen, toes together. As I lengthen that leg, I can feel my abdominals trying to pop, not pop as in pain, but release. What I'm trying to do, especially on that return of this foot right here, I'm trying to reconnect. Hold on to those abdominal connections. Don't lose them on the way back in. Doing this nice and slow is going to help you find that and keep that. So don't be in a hurry, okay? I know you want to get done, but with Pilates, it's all about slow and controlled movement. Going deeper into the movement is going to get you a lot more benefit as far as your body and strength goes. We have 1 more. Toes down, I lower. I'm going to take this top leg now out in front of me, taking it a bit further. Hand I'm going to leave behind my head. I'm going to lift my foot. I'm going to flex and lower. So it's a point lift, flex, down. With my leg in this position, again, I'm going to feel my abs working hard to stay connected throughout this movement. I'm going to reverse direction here. So now I flex up and point down. My leg is going to want to move away and open up at the hip. I'm fighting that. 3 more. 2. 1. Go ahead and draw the knee in. I'm going to take that top leg that's been working. I'm going to let it rest. I'm going to draw it behind me. I'm going to work my bottom leg. Bottom leg goes out long. Want to create a nice long line with the body. Sometimes you might want to push your hip a little bit further so that you can create that streamline. Hand again can go in the front for a kickstand, but I want to try to stay lifted through and stack through my hips. I'm going to pick up my bottom leg and I'm going to draw some circles. So nice and controlled, it's a lift through that inner thigh. My back leg is stabilizing me, so I don't want there to be a whole lot of movement at that knee. Again, I'm pushing through that shoulder, staying lifted through ribs. 3, 2, 1. Here we reverse. Inhale and exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, and here we point to lift, flex to lower. So as you're pointing and you're flexing, I want your knee to stay facing forward. Tendency here is going to be to shift, knee coming up to the ceiling. I don't want you to do that. I want you to keep your knee facing forward. As you flex your foot, you're going to notice your toes. I want your toes to be the driving force down. We're going to reverse direction here. Heel drives to the ceiling, point down. Heel drives up, toes are pointed down. Feeling length going through that leg. Things are shaking, that's okay. 1 more. And down, taking that bottom leg, bring it out in front of you. Lower the top leg down. We go into our mermaid stretch or a Z sit. Stabilizing here. We're gonna reach hand towards the leg that is back. So my back heel, that hand goes down. I reach overhead, anchoring in this opposite hip. Leave that hip down, getting a much bigger stretch through that side. And my chest is faced open, trying to keep shoulder down out of ear. Arms go to T. Good job reaching this arm out long first, then place the hand down. Lower down to forearm. Big reach on this side also. Trying to keep hip. I'm going to scooch in a little bit. I'm going to try to keep my hip anchored down. It's going to pick up a little bit. but I'm trying to push it down so I can get more of a side stretch in. While I'm on this side, I stay connected through my abs. Here, I'm gonna lengthen through the spine, big stretch. Hip can definitely come up here. Reaching long. I'm gonna shift back slightly so I can open at the chest, hip drops down towards the ground. And I push through that hand, back up. We're gonna swing over to the other side. Starting out in our clam. So find your position. Elbow under shoulder, ribs are lifted, spine is long. Didn't mention this on the other side, but what we're trying to do through our chest and through our thighs, we're creating a 90-degree angle, and then from our thighs through our feet, we're trying to create another 90-degree. So again, a lot of people start their clam in this open position. A lot more effective if we have our knees pulled up to that 90-degree. Knees are stacked. I feel open through the chest, hand goes up, and here we go. I open at the knees, slowly come down, finding my low ab connection, finding my sides working to keep me stabilized and lifted. I find my breath. Inhale and exhale. Shoulder stays out of ear. I'm thinking nice wide collarbone. Inhale and exhale. I have 4 more and then I add on. And 3. Can I pull in through that pelvic floor right here? Pull in, stay lifted, let abs hold on. That's our last one here. We add on. I open my knees, I lengthen, big length, finding length through that leg, and I lower down. Knees open, lengthen, again, trying to maintain that connection in the lower abdominals. You look fabulous. Slow, controlled, precise, long, strong. Beautiful movement here. We have 3 more. Lengthening, lower. A lot of proprioception here, knowing where your body is. Can you do this without looking at your toes and be able to find where they belong together? This is our last movement here. We lower our toes. We take that top leg. We lengthen it out in front of us. We point and flex to lower. So taking that flexed foot, I want my foot to stay parallel with the earth. So we're really going side to side here. Point and flex. So I don't want my toes pointed up to the ceiling. It's a lot of work to keep those toes and heel all in alignment. Here we go. We reverse now. We flex up and point down. Again, keeping that knee as far to your chest as you can. So flex and point. 2 more. Flex, point. Here comes Oliver. Flex and point. Good job. Taking that leg, drawing it behind you, lengthening through bottom leg. Again, I'm going to have to move my hips forward slightly, checking my alignment. Posture still up, collarbone wide, lifted here. Long leg. I lift and I start my circles. So again, hand can go behind head. I'm going to leave it in front of me for a little bit of a kickstand. Keep me stabilized. Again, I'm thinking about lengthening through that leg, really trying to create less friction in that hip joint. 2, 1, and now I reverse direction. So it's nice and long, knee stays pointed forward the whole time. Going into your breath, thinking about what your body's doing, staying lifted through upper body, and 1. Here we go. Now we point to lift, we flex to lower again. We have our heels are what are driving towards the ceiling, toes stay driving towards the mat. Knees facing forward, I'm breathing. 2 more. We reverse, we flex up and point down here. Good job. Almost there. 2 more. Everything's shaking. And we lower down. Taking that Z, mermaid sit. Posture up. That bottom leg is what swung forward. My leg, my shin is directly along the line of my mat. This leg goes behind me. Taking the hand towards the foot that is back and available, I reach up, anchoring in that opposite hip. Chest is open, shoulders out of ear, and I'm breathing. I'm really feeling that stretch here through the side. Fantastic. Reach up. Go through a T first. Reach through the upper body. Try to get a little bit of length. Then we draw down onto our forearm. And we lengthen shoulder out of ear. I just felt mine creeping up. Lowering shoulder down. Stay connected in abs. Try to anchor that hip down, that opposite hip, so this hip that's picking up. I'm just pushing it down towards the mat. And here I rotate. Chest goes the direction of the floor. I reach arm long. Stay looking down at the mat. Again, big lengthening through the spine. And then I open up to the side while I pull my hip back down in. Shoulder down. Press up through hand. Good job. Lower your hands. We're going to go into a quadruped position. In quadruped, we're going to go into some push-ups in a 3-point. So I want your wrists to be directly underneath your shoulders. Knees are directly underneath hips. I'm going to have you take your right leg out long, float it up off of the floor. We're going to do 5 push-ups with elbows sliding into our sides. Pilates push-ups. So we're really leaning into our triceps. Chest hinges forward. It's a seesaw motion. Body stays completely straight, pulling through abs to lift you back up. So trying to keep that neutral spine throughout, which means that there's no bending at the hips. The whole front of the body is dipping down in that seesaw motion. You don't need to go completely down. Just go to wherever your range of motion is. If you can go to here and get up with control, that's where I want you. I'm going to do one more. And we go up. Good job. Lower the leg down. We're going to lengthen out left leg now, floating it up. Now I take my arms a little bit wider. I'm going to take them off of the mat. Now my elbows are going to go wide. I'm going to be going into the chest. So here, same thing. I'm hinging down. As my face comes down, my leg goes up. Straight line in the body, but big lift through that core to control that motion. We have 3 more. Going down as far as you can so you can come up with control. Again, there's no sagging in the back. And we come up. We have 1 more. Good job. Lower that knee down. Hands go forward. Press back into child's pose. Feel the release of that lower back. Release of your shoulders. Let's come on down to our stomachs. We do a little extension work. So anchoring through pubic bone, legs go long. Pilates turn out at the feet. So your legs are turned out, going towards the corners of your mat. Arms are going to go long. We're going to take our right arm. I'm going to press through my left hand on the mat. I'm going to raise my right arm as my chest lifts. I stay looking down. I lower back down. I go into the other side now. Pressing through right hand, I lift through left. Nothing's happening at lower body. What I'm thinking here is my goal as I alternate from side to side, I'm thinking about length and not height. So as that arm floats, I'm really lengthening through the spine. I'm not trying to lift my head up super high. I'm certainly not lifting my chin up in order to have a false sense of height. This is about length, not height. Trying to lengthen through each of those vertebrae as you extend. Using those glutes to anchor lower body down. Keeping those thighs pressed into the mat. Here we add on, we lift right arm and left leg now. So we go into some diagonal work, lower everything down. Switching other side, left arm, right leg. Down. So we know the feeling of lengthening through that upper body. Now I want you to feel that lengthening through lower body. As the length is still happening in upper body. So it's a big diagonal pull in opposition. Lengthening through those muscles. Getting lots of stretch. Left arm, right leg. 1 more on each side. Keep breathing. Keep looking down. Down. Last one. and down. Now we're going to put them both together. So I want you to lift, floating both hands up, lift, floating both legs. We're going to flutter. So keeping upper body lifted, shoulders out of ears, fluttering arms, fluttering legs. Keep your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Again, thinking length, length, length. Keep going. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Stay looking down. Length here. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Stop fluttering, but stay up. And slowly lower everything down with control. Good job. Hands come next to your chest. Push back into child's pose. Feel that low back relax. Fantastic. This stretch feels so good. I want you to take your right arm. You're going to swing it along the right side of your body behind you while you look to the right. Surrender your head down. Opening up to the side. This should feel amazing. Coming back to center. Swinging left to the side, looking left. Swinging arm around, pushing back up. We're going to do a little cat-cow stretch. Finding position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And we take an inhale. And exhale, curving everything in, tucking tailbone and chin. Inhale, we lift tailbone, chin. And exhale, picking up through that mid-back. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to center. And we sit. And you're done. Congratulations. Great workout. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you got notifications next time I send out a new video. And I hope you're feeling great. Take care.